Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Construction Record Express. I'm digital mediator Warren Frey, and with me today I have
Staff writer for the Journal of Commerce, Russell Hixson.
Russell. What is happening in the West this week?
We have several things. I'm not really doing a big piece on this, but the tunnel boring machines are here. They've arrived for the Broadway subway project that goes across Vancouver's Broadway corridor. It'll connect UBC to the rest of the transportation network in Vancouver, the Metro Vancouver area. And there's also talk of several communities being planned. It's a massive project that
Mhm.
some are calling a second downtown for Vancouver. That's exciting, and the boring machines are here.
I know it's only going to Arbutus right now, but then further out in the future, it's going to go all the way to BBC.
Yes,
So
eventually
UBC, part.
it's intended to go all the way to UBC and take some of the pressure off of the bus systems and the thousands and thousands of people that have to go to UBC every day, students and faculty.
Hmm.
So that should greatly help some of the traffic and cut down on the vehicles that have to go to and from campus.
And Broadway is already now, I think in the country at least, it's one of the biggest, most busy commercial corridors and transport corridors.
It's a rough one. Yeah, it's very, very busy.
Okay. What else you got?
Well, I also have a piece that I will be publishing soon. And the government is asking the question, how young is too young to work in the construction sector based on the hazards? Right now, they're doing a survey. They've identified construction along with several other sectors as being potentially hazardous. And they're looking for some input. And I spoke with the Council of Construction Associations of BC, and they say this is in some ways great, in the sense that nobody wants to see young workers taken advantage of, or injured, or put in dangerous situations. And young workers are notoriously, sometimes not aware of all the rights that they have to refuse unsafe work. Um, and another thing, so they could potentially be more vulnerable to being put in inappropriate situations. Um, However, he Coca doesn't want to see opportunities for young people to get exposure to the trades taken away, and they also don't want to see mom and pop operations that have legacies of family members being in the trades, from being able to introduce their family members to the family trade early on. Um, so they're hoping that there's some balance there. And so we'll have to wait and see what comes of this. They're still doing some collecting information on this, some consultation. But it's looking like they are going to do some form of regulation of the age that people can work in some subsectors of the construction industry.
And from the eastern part of Canada, we have.
Lindsey Cole, editor of the Daily Commercial News and Journal of Commerce.
All right, Lindsey, what's happening in the East?
Well, as always, it's never a dull moment out in the East or in the West, obviously. I follow you both, so I know what everybody's working on. But this week, it's kind of a significant week, I think, for members of the industry. Tomorrow, April 28th, we will celebrate the Day of Mourning, or honor it, I should say. So this year we kind of wanted to delve into that a little bit more. So Angela Gismondi, one of our staff writers, decided to embark on a series. So she did a two-part series, working with Threads of Life, which is a wonderful organization that allows speakers to speak about their impacts with workplace strategies and other sorts of impactful stories that can resonate among not just the industry, but the broader audience. So they were kind enough to put her in touch with two families who have been impacted by a construction workplace fatality. So this first story that we actually are featuring is a really touching story, really sad actually. Obviously they're all sad, but this one is Rebecca and Caitlin's story. And Rebecca lost her husband Lance on a job site in Alberta. He was doing some concrete work, and I guess they were lifting concrete form, and he lost his life because it fell. What was really tragic about it, in addition to obviously that in general, was the fact that Rebecca was pregnant at the time. So he never got to meet his daughter, Caitlin, who's now living with her mom, and her mom tries to share memories of her dad. And I think what's really cool about her story, though, I have to give Rebecca a lot of credit. It's extremely tragic, and she's raised her daughter, to know her dad. But more importantly, she's also has a really good working relationship with the company that her husband would work for. She realizes that that day he made some errors. And so she just tries to speak out and encourages people to, practice safe workplace safety, and, to really pay attention to what you're doing on the job, as well as not ignoring your feelings, because he was tired when he went into work that day, and that could have impacted him. So either way, she is an excellent speaker when it comes to these types of stories. The second story we have is actually the story of Bruce. Forgive me if I say his name wrong. Bruce Broughton. He was 22. Well, when he passed away, he actually fell 60 feet while working on the roof of a building. Yeah, it was a terrible tragedy. So his family, his father, who's a health and safety consultant, has joined Threads of Life and is a speaker as well, and shares his story about the impacts it made on his family, and again, the importance of workplace safety and just how to cope with grief and whatnot. So these stories that Angela has told are, I think, really will resonate with our readership, and really capture what the Day of Mourning is all about, which is obviously to remember those who have lost their lives in a workplace tragedy, as well as to encourage and prevent future tragedies. So I hope everybody will give them a read, and obviously take a moment on the 28th to honor those who have passed away. Yeah.
And you have another story from Don Wall, right?
I do. Yeah. Don actually attended a really interesting event recently. It's the launch of the World Urban Pavilion, and it was actually launched at Regent Park. The Daniels Corporation, along with a variety of other partners, including the Urban Economy Forum, UN Habitat, and the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, have launched this pavilion. And it's just meant to host in-person meetings. There'll be demonstrations that showcase Regent Park, which is a fairly notable area in Toronto that has, I would say, completely transformed over the years. It is what this pavilion hopes to achieve and to highlight for others is the fact that it's a community redevelopment that was done right. So while it's been ongoing, this development's been happening, I believe it's over 16 years, or it's completely changed the face of that community. So it's a pretty good story that Don wrote, with a number of good sources in it from the Daniels Corporation as well as others. And it's basically just trying to highlight how you can transform a community that was known, didn't have the most positive image, we'll say, in the past, and how it's becoming almost rejuvenated. So kind of a feel-good story there, and this pavilion aims to educate people from across the globe. So definitely something to give a read.
Okay, cool. And if you'd like to hear more of TCR Express or the Construction Record Podcast, we're on Amazon Music, Apple Music, and Spotify, and on the Daily Commercial News and Journal of Commerce websites. Thanks for listening.